Oh, hey everybody, welcome to It's Tuesday, my dudes, the February 26th, 2019 edition. Sorry I'm late, we had important errands that had to be run. Today's docket, we're going to play a little Tetris 99. And I'm going to get it stuck in your head. I'm going to be responsible for the misfortune of thousands of people. I'm going to get this little earworm stuck in your head. It goes, run your sets, run your sets, run your sets, run your sets, and slide into the DMs. Run your sets, run your... Okay, you get the idea. When you hear the original Tetris theme, you cannot deny it. Then we're going to check out Trials Rising. It just came out. Originally, I was going to try it on Switch, but I heard that the Switch version is kind of not very good. So instead, I got it on the PlayStation 4. And then we got a little, an extra hour. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe more Tetris, maybe more Trials. We'll see how the mood strikes us. And then we got Team Unity Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, 3 hours from now. Dude, I don't know. Here's the thing. There will be a 5-minute bounty period somewhere involved as well. People are like... play Smash. But it's like a workout routine, you know? Not having played Smash for like 2 weeks, I'm worried that I'm gonna sign on and I'm just gonna be garbage. Now I'm not saying it's irrational, but simultaneously, like, because Smash Ultimate, before Smash Ultimate came out, I hadn't really played Smash for like 10 years. And I got back into it, although it took a while, but I don't know, man. It's been a bit. Here, before we start, let me hit you with a little slash unhost. There you go. Run your sets, and slide into the DMs. I only inflicted upon you because I can't avoid it being inflicted upon myself. Literally, I played for like another couple of hours last night, and I cannot escape the voice of Dan Giesling in my head saying this stuff over and over. So I'm playing like absolute garbage so far. Let me hit a little... If you haven't been watching the Tetris series on YouTube, there's a little term I like to call radio silence. That's when things are getting hot. I like to shut the heck up. That way I can actually focus on what I'm doing. So if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to hit you with a little bit of that radio silence. Just until I clear the garbage. This is my first run of the day. So, what do you expect? Lobster? We're so close. Oh, dude, I was playing, no spoilsies. I was playing real good last night. Already this morning I can tell, or this afternoon. I gotta shake the rust off a little bit. I'm also, I'm very unhappy with my attacker right now. So I'm just trying to hit them with a little sauce. Thinking they might oblige me a moment of respite here. Alright, we're back. Oh, then the KOs start flowing, boys. Okay, so you start saving the long boys. And here we go. Now we got some momentum that we can use to build upon. I don't really want to use this one, honestly, but, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You send garbage to me, I send garbage to you. It's the way it's gotta be. You're lucky. Look at this. I mean, you've seen what I've done, and yet you still choose to target me. The way of the righteous man is beset on all sides. Something, Pulp Fiction, brother. So you go back to attackers and you say, I didn't want it to be like this. But you come at me, you've been saving up your Tetronimos for 10 years, hoping to have a shot at the champ. It's just how it's gotta go sometimes, I guess. That being said, we are in a very delicate position. Never mind, we're safe again. And we're safe again. And we're safe again. Almost made it out of here. Just give it 1 sec. I don't like to build there. It's a little dangerous, but You gotta do what you gotta do. Here's the thing, you know, in a perfect world, we'd be playing a slightly different game of Tetris. I'll tell you one thing, we'd have a lot less garbage right now. But, you know, you don't play Tetris in the perfect world. If you do, I'm jealous. I don't exist in that perfect world, at least not yet. We're not at the 75 win streak sort of tier, you know what I mean? A lot of people ask me, they say, NL, how do you play Tetris and talk at the same time? It's very simple. When things get spicy, just stop talking. And secondarily, just babble, dude. Like, what I'm saying right now is actually completely irrelevant to the actual... Like, there's no sense involved in it whatsoever. Which is a huge advantage. If you don't have to be sensible, it's a lot easier to talk than you would otherwise expect, maybe. Alright, sorry, it's a delicate situation. Not quite radio silence level, but we're starting to get there. I know it looks bad. It's not bad. But this is what happens. You know, things start to come fast and furious here. There's not a whole lot you can do. Except understand, you know, react accordingly. I'm looking at my chances here. We did just get a few more badges. That's pretty nice. Almost top 10. I have a hard time imagining us being in a winning position right now. But I'm hopeful that I'm just wrong. That was a pretty dumb move on my part. We gotta do something like this now. I don't know if we have enough killing power. We're starting to get there, but... You know, if I'm gonna be successful... I really would prefer to see, no joke, like double-digit kills. Okay, we're in the heat now. And somebody on the other team, one of our foes just did a T-spin. Not acceptable. So now this is where it like peak Stay Frosty levels. Actually, yeah. So we got a little garbage coming. I'm waiting for that fat piece. Send it. This is a bad one. We'll just pop it right there. At this point, it's all about survival. I think a lot of our chances of victory basically boil down to... Can we knock out people that have more badges than us and basically just piggyback on their success? And if we can... You know, the world sincerely, you know, is pretty much our oyster, but it's not looking so hot right now. Need that fat piece immediately. Send it. Send it. Send it back. We're definitely going to die, but it was fun while it lasted. That was a pretty good one. For a warm-up game, that's not too bad, boys. Thank you for the easy claps. Did you learn what a T-spin is? I have a... With T-spins, I can do T-spins or I can play quickly. That's the spectrum right now. I can either do a T-spin or I could play fast. So, you'll see. Just watch Wumbo for 30 seconds and learn what a T-spin is. That's just some dumb shit. Okay? That's like saying just turn on the NHL. Watch Connor McDavid go, you know, north to south on a single rush. Just look at what he does. He just deked out Drew Doughty. All you gotta do is hit him with the elbow drop and fake him out of his skates. You know? Yeah, practice T-spins to go faster. Agreed. Dude, I'll show you what a T-spin is. T-spins are basic to do, but it's hard to do the T-spin while also clearing lines quickly, is basically what it's about. But I'll see if I can set up a T-spin. Basically, to set up a T-spin, what I do is I try to create a situation kind of like that one right there. And I'm, you know, because this is an academic exercise, then you do something like this, and it goes whip, You heard it. So that's a T-spin. Now, now you see my problem, by the way. I've done a T-spin, and it was destructive. It has extremely slowed down my momentum. So, where my next step, if there is going to be a next step, is definitely learning how to actually do T-spins in such a way that it doesn't destroy my ability to also succeed. So we're going full-on attackers. We got to knock out some Johnny-come-latelys here. That's a big one. And we're back. But you can see, you know, I've demonstrated a certain competency with the level of the T-spin. It's like when your driving instructor comes to you and they go, hey, parallel park in this spot right here. And you're like, is this a trick? Because this is an illegal spot. And they go, hey, listen, you son of a gun. I know it's an illegal spot, but we got to hit this checklist, okay? Just make sure you got it under control. All right, no KOs has got me a little bit tilted. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the next step for me is learning, I think at least, is learning productive T-spins. So, the patterns that lead to successful T-spins. Like, it seems like a terrible setup right here. I feel like I've done myself a great disservice with the way that I've built this. Like, look at the size of this freaking gap we've got in the middle, and the only thing that'll save us at this point is long pieces. This is horrible. Alright, well, sometimes you gotta compromise. Let's knock out these... Oh, we're not even gonna knock out these Johnny-come-latelys. Gotta do something like that. This is gonna be a hard one to fight back from. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Oh, now it's impossible. Alright, fair enough. That was a bad one. Simultaneously, it was a result of going for that T-spin early. If I see the opportunities for the T-spin, I'll take it. That was an academic test run. Hate when you get the misdrops and drop it one too early. Oh, you're telling me. You're telling me, man. Oh, this is my perfect scenario. You get oh, you cowards. You get 5 people attacking you early. Non-Galaxy Brain level Tetris 99 players. Dude, there's nothing I could do, dude. So many people attacking me, dude. I can't... Dude, there's nothing I could do. What you actually do is just kill them all and then take your 10 KOs and carry yourself to an easy victory. Like, legitimately the easiest victory. Okay, it's another situation. You probably should have approached it from a slightly different methodological standpoint. But you got me all distracted. That's not so bad. I can live with it at least. Let's toss that down there, and sure, I can live with this. Something along these lines. Is it really just one dude sending me all the, like, single lines of garbage? It's just disrespectful. If you're gonna send me something, send me, like, some double Tetrises. Like, single lines of garbage, I understand, you know? It's just a lack of respect from the opposing player. But, like, simultaneously, you know what? You're lucky. So I'm gonna do that instead. And then you just step back to him and you go, okay, how do you like it? Here's some single lines of garbage for you, mon frere. Think you're such a Tetris pro. Enjoy these single lines of garbage. See, I'd rather not get in like an ego battle with just one dude where we spend the whole game going back and forth, you know what I mean? Then at the end of it, we just lose to whoever had the most opportune situation. But, you know, if it is an ego battle, I'm gonna try my darndest to win. Let's put it that way. Oh, anytime you get the space in your life to place a horizontal eye block, you know you're loving life. Let's not talk about that Galaxy Brain play right there, where I swapped a T-piece for a T-piece. Okay, first KOs on attackers are starting to come in. I'm going to give the other dude a little bit of respite. We're going to go back to KOs. KOs it's the strat. I'm here to tell you. I believe that's the strategy moving forward for us. Yeah, that's fine. Starting to get like a little less fine, but you know, we can always make it work. My other strategy is, you know, getting Tetrises is cool, but once you like make a line and you send it to somebody, you should follow up, in my personal opinion, with more lines as soon as possible. Even if it seems suboptimal. We're building suboptimal, speaking of which. But even if it seems suboptimal, just try to overload them, you know? Sure, it would be ideal to send them as many Tetrises as possible in as quick succession as possible, but sometimes, you know, that doesn't present itself as an actual viable opportunity. And instead, you just gotta inundate them with lines over and over. We're up to 3. I'm gonna be honest with you, 3's not enough. 3 is not enough for us to be content with ourselves here. 3 is angling for like a top 20 finish, but a loss. I don't even want to get out of bed for less than a 10 KO game at this point. 2 attackers, all right. I don't mind it. Anytime I see 2 attackers, I say to myself, if we're gonna party, I'm bringing the chips and dip. I'm not afraid. Now I'm a little afraid, but you know what? The blue is gonna set me free here. Then we go back to attackers, and we start selling them. Give me that 50% up. I need it. It's a problem, or is it? Send them. Send them back yet again. Pop them. Really could use a long block. I see one en route. Thank you. Followed by this. Thank you. We're in a little bit of radio silence territory here. Things are getting hot. Compromises have been made. Yeah, that's a bad one. Yeah, the game was okay. We definitely got styled on by somebody there. Sorry, it's an ice cube. You ever... I like these iced coffee drinks, even though we're in, like, February here. But now we don't use straws, because we're a liberal paradise. So I gotta drink out of the hole at the top of the cup. But sometimes I get an ice cube. And what do you do with an ice cube? Do you spit it back into the cup? Or do you hold it in your mouth politely until it evaporates? Like, I just spit it out on a plate that happened to be in my room. And you know, it's unbecoming. But it's also like, what am I supposed to do? Dude. There's nothing I could do, dude. Just swallow the ice cube? Well, you know what's weird is, I mean, I don't want to swallow the ice cube because it's cold. I get that it makes the drink cold, and I ordered a cold drink. You know, the hypocrisy there is not lost on me. But, I also think it's needlessly reductive. Oh, you like cold drinks, huh? He likes cold drinks, and yet he won't eat, ice cubes by themselves. You know, I think it's a little bit disingenuous, personally. Pardon me, it's a little iced burp. Alright, so here, we got an okay setup. We're waiting for, that's fine. We're waiting for orange piece. Now that we got orange piece, we're waiting for, well, you know what, I'm just gonna send him. We were waiting for a long boy. It happened, but it happened a little bit too late. You know what, we got a square peg coming up, so do something like that. Then we'll send him. We should save at some point, but, you know, I really think we got to strike, and I'm okay with this. I think we got to strike a balance between like the exact optimum placement for killing and the optimum placement for making sure that if somebody comes to us with a couple of lines, we don't die in the process. But I'm still figuring that balance out for myself, to be honest with you. Yikes, dude, this is a terrible one. Something like this will work, but it's not my idea of a great time. The tuck. He's got the tuck. He's got the power. And slide into the DMs. Run your sets, run your sets. Your sets, you gotta run your sets. Slide into the DMs. 2 KOs. I gotta tell you again, I know I keep repeating myself. It's kind of just the nature of the beast when it comes to Tetris. It's very unlikely we pull out the win with 3 KOs. It's not impossible, but what it requires now, essentially, is we gotta kill somebody. We actually might want to go to badges temporarily. And I can't see, I mean I could see, but I don't want to take the time to look, if we would be okay. Like if the person that's high on the people that we're targeting that are highest on badges, if they're close to death, for example. That's what I'm on the lookout for. That's a big one. We're looking, I guess we're gonna have to deal with orange piece, unfortunately. Pop that bad boy down right there. And we're still, at this point, green piece might be the best option for us. We gotta do something like that. We got a little bit too, we got a little bit behind the lines, like that Owen Wilson movie with Gene Hackman. You know the one, Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, I'll run it. At some point, you know, you just gotta... You gotta keep the lines clear. You gotta make some compromises at some point. You know, you're not playing Tetris against the AI. You're playing Tetris against real human beings. Orange piece is coming. Okay, now we can start the rebuild. Jim Benning style. You got problems? This is a real... Go... If you gotta beat attack... If you want to be attackers, you gotta beat attackers, brother. Radio silence. Send them! This isn't how I go! No, I need the bluebie. I need the bluebie. No! Shouldn't have attacked badges. I don't know, man. I mean, all these... you ever hear of Plato's Myth of the Cave? Myth of the Cave is... Here's the story of the Myth of the Cave by Plato, okay? A bunch of friggin' morons inside of a cave. They got no light. All they see is the shadows that are made on the walls of their cave via the campfire. So they see some shadows and they go, oh, outside of the cave there's gotta be big old fucking dinosaurs and winged demons taking us down and stuff like that. But the idea is that they're stupid and what they're seeing are merely shadows. That's essentially the way I feel about Tetris 99 strategy if you're not a Grandmaster level player. Is it's just a bunch of people being like, well, you shouldn't have done this, when really, you know, you ran in, the odds are at least, you probably ran into somebody who's just substantially better than you. And the way for you to beat them is to practice enough to eventually be better than them. But it's not really practical on a small sample size level. You know, that's something that needs a little bit more time in order to work. We got an orange piece coming up. So this is a thinking man's equation on this one. Because we got a really, really good KO setup coming. And now we're going to send them. So we're going to go KOs. And you know what? I actually like this. We could easily have, like, I would say 3 KOs is pretty realistic for what we're coming up to here. But it runs the risk of putting us in a slightly dangerous garbage situation, but that's not so bad. I mean, if you saw on Twitter, I had some big KO games last night. I had a 12 KO game and I had a 19 KO game. I still think that a lot of the KO math essentially just boils down to do you get targeted a lot at the start of the game? If you get targeted a lot at game start, it's so much easier to rack up KOs quickly, in my opinion, at least. But part of the equation for sure is also, I mean, just playing quickly, which I'm not doing a fantastic job of so far. Faster than a week ago, no doubt about that. Still a little slower than I'd like. Yikes, dude. I don't really like this, but I saw a few turns ahead and was kind of hoping for the best. I'll take it. Then we got an orange. Okay, we got a good setup coming up. The pink one clears it, makes some space, send them back. And there's really, I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but this is one we'll just send. If you're watching and you're wondering, like, what's the next step of Tetris 99? Honestly, the garbage multiplier, which I do admit is improved by T-spins, is a huge part of it. You know, you can, in my experience at least, you can beat a better player. You can defeat the Wyatt Earps of the world now and then. We got an orange piece coming, so just drop this one. You can defeat the Wyatt Earps of the world just by being able to have your garbage be worth more than theirs. But it does require... Let's do it. It does require getting more kills than 4. 4 is probably not going to get us there. It could, but I doubt it will. Another big yikes moment of the day right there. I mean, you could always just, yeah, this will work. You could always just, kill a player who has more badges than you and take their badges. But that in and of itself requires you to beat someone who has an advantage over you in combat because of the fact that they have more badges to begin with. Alright, we're getting close. This is, like, one of the things that gives you a chance at victory is still happening here. We are alive. We're closing in on the top 10, and we have no garbage. So, you know, I think there's a chance. Probably go back to KOs, try to pick up a couple of quick ones. But my rudimentary analysis at this point is that we are essentially alive. Oh, that's not the good stuff. We're essentially alive due to not being targeted very much right now. And that can change in a big way. Oh! Yeah, that's a choke and a half. I should have stopped talking. Should have instituted a little radio silence in there. That's my bad. Two big chokes. It's just you tap the button once by accident and it's all gone, dude. Keep talking. Oh, are you trying to Q snipe me, Corey? Oh, keep talking. I'm almost there. Oh, it's substantially weirder. No, that wasn't a one run. A one run is if you have like 8 KOs and you throw, that's a lost cause. Like you've screwed yourself beyond belief at that point. That was not a. I mean, I would have preferred to have not had that situation come to pass for sure, but at the same time, I still think we were a pretty uphill battle to have a real chance in that one. This is just terrible blocks to start with, but you know, we slowly worked our way out of relatively poor situation. Thanks for the tux, brother. Really appreciate it. Okay, so now you do the world's worst T-spin attempt for no reason whatsoever. Yo, I'm dumb, dude. Okay, so we're gonna do. I never should have put myself in this situation. If you're gonna screw up, hey, screw up early. Good advice for life too. Get your mistakes out of the way when you're too young for consequences to be real and scary. So that when you're older, you got it out of your system. You can be a good law-abiding citizen. We got an orange one coming up, so I think we do like this. Blue one is not what we want. It's actually not as scary as it looks. Like, I know this looks bad. And it would have been bad like a week ago before I ascended to the level of a Tetris professional. But now, like, it's no big deal, dude. I actually think that there might be a strat, and I don't know what you'd call the strat. But you, like, pretend to be bad, so then people who target KOs try to attack you. Like that. That was just me pretending to be bad, for example. People who go for KOs try to attack you. And then you just go, hey, surprise, I'm actually not bad. I'm actually the world's greatest Tetris player on planet Earth. And then you destroy them. And they shout at their mom, there's nothing I could do, dude, and it's a good time. You know how it is. You followed the streams and the discourse and the etc. and the whatnots. I would... Oh, hello, Corey. I will say I'd like to stop being attacked now, if it's at all possible. I feel like, you know, my attackers... They're honestly hitting me with a pretty impressive level of disrespect. I have demonstrated that I'm not gonna fold. They could be attacking KOs right now. Instead, they've opted to spend their time attacking me for presenting new ideas. So essentially at this point, we've entered into a blood feud. One of us is gonna live and have a decent chance to win the game. The other one of us is going to be killed. And it's increasingly looking like I'm gonna lose this blood feud. But perhaps not. We need a piece that is better than these. It's got to be better than those too, but you know, really, we got, I wouldn't say we got screwed there, but we ran out of space. We needed a piece that was 3 blocks tall to fit in the slot, and there was nothing. There was nothing to put it in there. Could have L spinned. Chat, put your stats. That's all I ask. I'll show you my stats. The only reason I don't want to put my stats up on the screen is because people are going to go spoilers. Okay? You want to come to me. I've seen you on Twitter. Sometimes people give me strategies on Twitter. They go, hey, oh, it's a Rorschach situation. They go, here's how I play the game. And then I follow their Twitter account, and they're like, oh, second place, but it's a new personal best for me. So you better have the credibility to back up what you're saying to me, is all I'm trying to put out there into the world. I love this. I honestly love having a lot of attackers early. And that's not being braggadocious. It's sincerely just that it makes it so easy to target enough people to get early KOs and essentially win despite being worse than the average winner, probably. I mean, you're seeing it in action right here. You just inundate him with lines. Don't worry about the Tetrises. Just make sure you're sending lines back at them. It's all about getting that garbage multiplier up. Obviously, that was a bit of a misplay. It happens. What I want to start seeing is ruined versus saved meta, just like the Bob Ross streams on Twitch. Orange will work. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? So like when you place a piece incorrectly, you just go ruined. And then when they inevitably save it, mere milliseconds later, you go saved. Okay, we're in real yikes moments here. Never mind, we're the greatest player of all times. Never mind, we're back in real yikes minutes. Never mind, we're saved. It's a very early top 50, dude. I see that we have an orange piece. This is pretty much mission critical at this point. Orange piece, please. No! You cowards! Okay, that was an emergency situation to bail us out of a friggin' nightmare, man. Okay, you gotta hit him with this. It's the only way for us to manage. Gotta hit him with... Ah! We tried. We tried. It was just... Once you end up in damage control, it's tough, dude. Once you end up in damage control, it's tough. Today is the 7-year anniversary of Who Do You Think You Are? I Am. Dude, that's great news. Thank you for reminding me. When I get my 5th Tetris 99 victory, I'll make sure to hit him with a Who Do You Think You Are? I Am. Yeah, we want a blue boy. That's fine. Okay, this is not so bad. That is right. I did it. Number 5. Are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? I am. You know? It's muscle memory at this point. It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what? I'm willing to do that. Sometimes Tetris, it ain't about the optimum situation. It's about making the best of a bad situation. And I really think, you know, sometimes in Tetris, the wrong decision made quickly is better than the right decision made slowly, depending on how wrong the decision is and how long it takes you to make that decision. Now, I could be wrong about that one. Still crunching the numbers personally. You know, we got the think tank over in Burnaby working on it. Haven't quite sussed out the knowledge yet, but I have faith that they'll get there one day. With my direction, of course. It's a bad bubble. The only bad bubble right now is what I got going on in my guts, brother. Because look at that. Spotted that coming a mile away. Yo, that was probably the worst decision I could have made there. I got very little defense for that one. Alright, we're back. I do hate being ruthlessly attacked. Who does this guy think he is? Wumbus? If you're not Wumbus, stop the attacks, okay? Because I'm about to go Wumbus on you, my man. Oh, dude, I'm looking at my attacker. I see that my attacker is not having a good day. He's in a desperation situation, so we're gonna start sending him some of these. Probably, again, just about the worst move I could have imagined for myself. That was a choke and a half. Dude! These are bad ones. I gotta start playing at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time again. We're in the housewife peak hours right now. I stand no chance. $11 p.m. Pacific time is when you got the best opportunity to play the game. Yo, Rorschach. You can tell. He's mad. He's motivated. He wants to win. You get him up to the top. You get something like this, then you go, okay, attackers. Okay, attackers. Screwed it up. It's alright. No use crying over spilt milk. KO 1. Gonna need 6 more of those. Start talking about wins once we hit 7. Ah! It's okay. Seems bad, isn't good, but could be worse. Just don't build over the hole. That's a garbage hole of our own creation. Okay, we're gonna go to KOs now. I didn't come out of that, you know, smelling as nicely as I would have liked. If you know what I mean. But life goes on. Thank you for the saved. I greatly appreciate it. Essentially, all I can do in chat is notice repeated phrases. So when the phrases are very simple, I appreciate it a great deal. Send them. Oh, he's taking the restrictor plate off of his brain. Well. 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 No longer has the restrictor plate been taken off of his brain. He's added a new restrictor plate onto his brain. He's very sick. Not ruined, though. Not quite. What determines whether or not we're ruined is essentially whether or not we get targeted right now. If we don't get targeted much, I got faith. That's the good stuff. Shit. I hate you. I still hate you. Okay, we're back. Just start calling out the ruins. Like, honestly, we're kind of there. You might as well be the first person to say ruin, because things are looking a little dangerous. Don't get your hopes up, boys. This is a little bit false hope right here. I'm working on it. But I got low confidence, but I'm trying. I'm working it down. Hope returning ever so slightly. And then you send them, and then you send them. Real saved hours, please. Ban the charlatans who said ruined. They know not what they do. Okay, we're going back to KOs. And the music never stops slapping. Okay, that's fair. I mean, I would probably start attacking me too at this point. Desperately seeking long. Orange will do. Blue will not. Orange will still do. Blue will not. I got it. Sometimes you gotta slow it down. Slow it down so you can send it down. Looking for blues. Desperately seeking bluesing. It's doable. Pure panic. Pure panic. I started a god spin, I got freaked out. It was an okay game though. We got ourselves back there. I ran into a tough spot there at the end. It is ice, not wrong. Crunch the ice on Mike. I don't like to eat ice. Oh, here we go, boys. It's the dream scenario. The perfect I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me moment. It's the easiest thing in the world, because at this point, all you gotta do is make lines. It distills Tetris down to its most basal form. Make lines, win games. I love it. You know what? Let's make some lines. I can't help but notice no KOs right now. Okay, there's one KO. One KO, it doesn't mean much. You know, we gotta get to that garbage multiplier. I'm not even worried about this. Like, the garbage they're sending me is irrelevant. We send it back. Dude, all the attackers swapped off. It's like they've become wise to my incredibly nuanced strategy. Well, only getting one KO out of that Rorschach situation is not ideal, you know? Would have liked to have made a little bit more out of that. This is just a dereliction at this point. I see some oranges coming. I don't really like the way I've built up here so far, but, you know, we can get there. Just a matter of... Sometimes I well and truly believe, and it's going to sound very self-serving, but I seriously believe sometimes that we just restrict our brains, you know? We go, well, I can't possibly act this fast. And like half of Tetris is just being like, hey, just find a place to put the piece. Don't think about it too hard. Don't run it... I mean, don't do that also. But, like, don't run it through the central processing unit. Just send it straight down to the garbage pile down there. You know, sure, it looks bad temporarily. And, you know, was bad temporarily. But look at that. As a result of our badness, we started racking up some KOs that, you know, maybe otherwise would have been a little tricky for us to receive. Okay, this is a real good opportunity for us to start clearing a bunch of garbage. I got no problems with this right now. This is A-okay as far as I'm concerned. That's the situation, like a couple of moves ago, my brain hit the button. I didn't hit the button to swap pieces. My brain went, no, don't do it. You want this instead. And I said, all right, brain. But why? And it said, don't worry about it. You'll understand when you're older. And I said, brain, I hate when you do that. You like that double Tetris? Sometimes you gotta hit him with the double Tetris. You know what? Start here. Survival at the end of the day is just looking Mother Nature in the face and saying, not today, okay? It's saying, by all accounts and purposes, you should be able to defeat me here, but I'm refusing to allow it. Maybe next time, Mother Nature. But for now, we're gonna try our gosh darndest. Stay ahead of the curve here, and it's not easy. Or is it? Oh, I hate to do this, but we gotta find a place for our square block. The square block is the bane of every Tetris player's existence. Real problems? Real problems have presented themselves. You know what real problems need? I've screwed it up something fierce. That was a choke. It all went so wrong, dude. Alright, we got 10 more minutes here. Slurp. I called it. Imagine thinking you're enlightened because in a game where one person wins and 98 lose, you predicted a loss. Pick a number between 1 and 100. I guess that it's not 71. I win again. Yo, but you know what it is? When it is 71, you lose your life savings, brother. I hope you're ready for that. Might not happen right now. Might not happen next game. But account deletion is imminent. Prepare yourself. This is a terrible start. I got no momentum here. So we're going to make a little compromise. And we're going to build some suboptimal lines in order to get back down to brass tacks. And there you go. Now we got one tile on the side. Not my ideal building methodology, but it's workable. It's doable. You can build a house on this strat. Start sending them. Probably should have started sending them earlier, but there you go. That was... I'm actually just... I'm not offended by the fact that so many people in chat said ruined. I'm just surprised that having watched for so long, you would think that a temporary setback and a ruination are the same thing. No square piece. Is the one time I want square blocks to exist. The game says, maybe next year, Gramps. Alright, well, you know, a little disrespectful, but... we're getting real close to switching to attackers. Only 2 KOs. We only have 2 attackers, though. So it's not... I don't consider it like a... it's not a necessary pivot right now. It's just on the list of things I'd like to get done. But I'd really also just prefer, if possible, to rack up a few more KOs on the KOs setting before we potentially throw it away. Because we don't really have a problem. Orange piece is kind of far away. We don't really have a problem with the economy of line creation right now. As I see it, at least. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. Lots of KOs, but a lot of built-in fear as well. I think I gotta start throwing something like that at the wall. See them with sticks. No orange pieces coming up for quite some time. Compromises have to be made. Ruination has not occurred yet. I will admit the plausibility, but I spotted the line. It opened up my eyes. I spotted the line. Orange piece coming up. Okay. So we gotta definitely clear left side. Hitting a little radio silence. Things are getting spooky. Please let me clear the garbage hole. I beg you. Okay, we have a shot, actually. 7 kills. All we gotta do... we're gonna get targeted, so get ready. A lot of survival. That's the next step. Maybe we wipe somebody who has a lot of badges. We take their badges, and we're in. Oh, it didn't. Couldn't God spin. Send them. Don't give me the line. Don't give me the line. I need the orange. You cowards. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Closing in. Closing in. Suck on that shit, Corey. You step to me in my game. You try to stream snipe me live. That's what happens. You get 4th, I get 6th. Which I think means that I'm a 3rd better than you. You get 6th, I get 4th. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Why don't you go after badges? Scary, dude. Badges are good players. You might be in the clear. You might be correct. Yo, excuse me, sir. You recognize the game of Tetris. The game of kings. It's just begun. And you step to me with this level of garbage? My lord. I mean, I've seen rudeness, but to this degree, I'm not certain. Wow. That was... Whenever this happens, essentially, you just recognize that you've gotten into a game with an esports professional and they fucking destroyed you. There's no shame in that. That's literally like you're hanging out at the street ball court in Harlem, New York, and fucking Patrick Ewing shows up. That was entirely your fault? My brother, every loss in Tetris is 100% your fault. The only time you lose is because somebody's better than you. Every single one of these losses has been 100% my fault. If I was a better player, I would have won. You're not hitting me with any sort of enlightened wisdom. You gotta give me actionable criticism. All I'm saying, you saw what happened to Corey. Corey stepped in here. He thought, oh, I could, NL's so bad at games. I could easily crush him. You saw what happened. Who's next? Game's free. Download it for your Nintendo Switch. It's pretty good, too. Face me in the heat of battle. And you'll find out what happens when you feed a stranger scrambled eggs. Alright, this guy's about to find what happens when he feeds a stranger scrambled eggs. He's about to find out that pretty soon that stranger's gonna be like, thanks for the eggs, I'm full. And I'm also dead. Or am I? Probably, but we'll get to taste that sweet milk of life for a very slightly longer degree. All you gotta do at this point, you don't have to beat him. You just have to survive long enough for them to be like, he's not worth my trouble. Ah! That was a bad one. I mean, we built badly, but also we ran into some good people, I think. He decided I was worth the trouble. I just came from watching B-Rex win two in a row. Peep my YouTube channel 4 days from now, if you think that's an impressive feat. Also, B-Rex is better than me at Tetris. I've been watching his stats. There's no shame in that. He's better than me at essentially every video game he's ever put his mind to. I would have thought that at some point this would cease to be a revelation. But as with many things on the internet, I find myself constantly surprised on a day-to-day basis. Attackers! Get out! This doesn't concern you. Oh, that was a bad placement for many reasons. And not the least of which was the fact that it was just totally misplaced. But it was conceptually the wrong placement as well. We got an orange boy coming up soon. And we've screwed it up, so we're going to do that. Blue boy is going to get us out of a jam. Surprisingly not super ruined right off the get-go. Pretty bad. And desperately seeking bluesin. There we go. There's another one. All of a sudden, you know, I hesitate to say we're back into it, but could be worse. Okay, put me back on KOs. We're free. Sort of. This is like the longest period of my adult life without getting a long piece, if you know what I mean. Probably could have placed that a little bit better. Okay. Oh, hit me with those mild saves. We're at mild save levels right now. Only one KO, but worked ourselves out of a slightly disastrous situation. Now start building, keep yourself a little bit flatter. That was some good, actionable advice from the chat that I respect and appreciate a great deal. Thank you so much. What are we looking for? Blue piece, and there it is. All right. Now, another good piece of actionable advice. Stop building over your garbage hole, Dad. That time we did, but it was in the interest of getting it clear here. 6 KOs. We got some functionality here. Yeah. I don't really like this. I'm gonna do it like this. I think what I'm doing right here is a slightly riskier play. But it opens us up to a little bit of increased usability in the future. That has subsequently been pretty quickly squandered. But I think we're back. Okay, that's going to be like 3 KOs right there. We sent a lot of lines real quickly. And again, that wasn't good Tetris play. Literally just what that was I made a few lines in quick succession. That wasn't a double Tetris T-spin sort of setup, which inevitably, for sure, would have been better. But I don't know how to do it. I got a lot of practice to go until I can get to that point. Where are we at? 11 KOs? Alright, I would start to think of this as a functional potential victory. And I mean potential with a friggin' capital P. I was like, there's gotta be a freaking long piece in the rotation somewhere. That, the side of this board is gonna be a major, major problem. Did not mean for that to go there. Thank you, by the way. I've been untargeted for so long. Oh, that, send them. Go over top! Yeah. Yeah. That one got pretty bad. We did KO somebody right at the very end. We made a lot of mistakes there. Yeah, that one left side piece kind of screwed it. NL, you really need to stop panicking. You know, how this team, you know, at the end of the day, this team just wanted it more. Had nothing to do with variance or talent or preparation. They just wanted to win. The other people involved in the game didn't want to win as much. That's at the end of the day. You gotta want it. You know what? Let's try some radical moves here. Clear some lines early, get some KOs. There were some real positives in that last game. I mean, we did pretty well. KOs were a big one. Yo, I need pieces. I need pieces with some length to them. Please. Sakurai. Okay, I mean, you gotta... It's not where we want to be. Ain't no doubt about that. But it's where we are. Just looking at the pieces they come down the pipe and going like, please, Lord. It'll work. You know what? Again, accept the compromises presented before you. All of a sudden, we're back. A little. That's what we're looking for. Blue piece. And, you know, see, you can't always come back from every mistake in a single instant. Sometimes it's going to take you a little longer than you'd like. Some mistakes are bigger than others. But if you work hard, you got a chance. So close. Oh, now I'm mad. Somebody made a mad NL in chat. You were absolutely correct. After I get myself out of the doldrums, you have the audacity, nay the disrespect, to start sending me lines of garbage after all that. Look at this. Brain's been overclocked. We're ready to go. Never forget you did that. You might think to yourself that was me. You would be incorrect. It was by way of your actions that situation escalated to that point. Oh, we're clearing lines. We're clearing lines, and we're getting KOs. And sometimes, you know, you start getting KOs, you're going to start to get targeted. You start to have people on your case that are unhappy about your newfound lot in life. Just let me place one more piece. Thank you. This is horrible. Just a terrible assortment of pieces coming down the pipe. Yo, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Let's try this one more time. We got one more game in us. You angered the hordes. Sometimes you gotta shove the L block into the long hole. I understand. NL, play to specifically avoid needing a long piece. I understand, but it does border on just build. You know? I think did you know, I didn't know this until the other day. There's actually Tetris openings, like the same way there's openings in the game of Kings, chess. I saw on the Tetris subreddit, somebody was like, hey, I'm looking for tips to help me get better at Tetris 99. And they said, hey, you know, I'm glad you're having a fun time with Tetris 99. Step 1 of getting better, I would definitely recommend learning the standard openings of Tetris contained at this link. And I went, what? I didn't realize. I mean, it makes sense that in a game driven by patterns, you know, you would have something along those lines. When you think about it for 2 seconds, sure, it makes a lot of sense. But, you know, in the past, I had not thought about it for 2 seconds. Building a few gaps here, but you know what? That's life, man. You build the gaps, you clear the gaps. You know, I don't really love that placement, but we're back down to the bottom. So this is where I don't like it. It's all about having a spot where you can dump your square blocks. If you can find a place to dump your square blocks, you're ahead of the curve. Or maybe you're on curve. I don't know. Really depends. Like, are you trying to become the next great Tetris 99 player, or are you trying to win a single game? Because I can only give advice on one of those spectrums, you know? Sorry, I hit you with a little radio silence. We don't have that many attackers. Only 1 KO. Very, very embarrassing. Very shameful. So what we're going to do instead... something along these lines. Get a place to dump your square boys. I don't want to go any higher. I'm willing to take on a little square debt. Same situation there. Okay. Okay. You know what? I think that's storable. Throw something like that down. Hit him with one of these. This is not the position I want to be in the top 10. So, you know, if we're lucky enough to make it that far, I would very much enjoy getting down to the bottom. We've been targeted for deletion, like a Wikipedia article, on a band that only has 1 album. Came out on Sub Pop in 1995. Questionable notoriety. Definitely, in my head... Oh, crap! What I was going to say is this is a play fast situation. Please, Sakurai, toss me some oranges. I see no oranges. Sakurai! Ooh. One of the rare situations where I think we were very wise to take a microsecond to sort ourselves out there. And, you know, we still may end up losing as a result of that. But we're here for now. Built way too much on top of the garbage hole. Temporarily saved. Honestly, toss him one of those. That's what you worry about. No, roll him. No! I thought it had been placed, so I tried to move the next piece over, but it hadn't been placed yet. Anyway, let's play some trials. Garbage! Imprisoning me! All that I see! Anyway, before we go back... Yo, what was that? You what? What's this stat up at the top here? Oh my god. You didn't see that. 44 simultaneous targets from other players. Chat, look away. Look away. Judging a Tetris novice by the number of their T-spins is essentially, it's like judging an NHL defenseman by, you know, their fucking plus minus or something like that. It literally is irrelevant, brother. That's old, that's eye test garbage. $23 hours and 3 wins, though. Lol. Yeah, tried fucking 22 hours, 0 wins. How do you think that felt? This is a pretty big improvement, honestly. Dan did a T-spin 5 minutes in? I don't know. I am defending myself from the strangest gaslighting of all time. I have T-spins. I did a T-spin at the start of the stream to demonstrate. I know what a T-spin is. I do not hate Brent Burns. I respect him. He has 70 freaking points on the season. For a defenseman, that's just absurd. This is the new Trials game. Trials Rising. I love Trials. Now this is rock and roll. I am going to turn it up because it's too quiet. That sounds about right. I'm playing on the PlayStation 4. Please, Ubisoft, allow me your services. I'd like to engage in the 4th Trials game. Who's your pick to win the cup this year? I am a statistician at heart. I will always go for the team that's dominating the regular season. So, like 100%, I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously.